After spending the last 365 days with Microsoft's latest console, the most powerful video game console in the world, the Xbox Series X, I have never been more confident in the controversial statement I'm about to make. I'm selling my Xbox Series X, and you should sell yours too. Let's get into it. Folks, if you're new here, I am your host, Dead Metal of Dead Metal Media. Welcome to the channel. Please consider leaving a dislike. Please consider smashing my comment section with insults, as I no doubt am going to piss more than a couple of people off. 365 days I've spent with my Xbox Series X, and 365 days I've gotten up every single morning, stumbled into the bathroom with a hell of a hangover, taken a piss, stared at my reflection in the mirror, and asked myself why. Why did you give a company that has no exclusives $500? Power means nothing if you don't have the games to back up the justification of the purchase. I mean, Gears of War 5, Forza Motorsport, Halo Infinite, all of these games are playable on the PC. Furthermore, the purchase of Bethesda, this was what a lot of fanboys touted as the killing blow to Sony. Really? The killing blow? Because on my PS5, you can't play God of War Ragnarok on PC. You can't play Returnal on PC. You can't play Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PC. Yet, when you look at the upcoming Doom 3, Evil Within 3, Rage 3, Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, all of these games are going to be playable on PC. The future Fallout games will be playable on PC. There's no reason to own an Xbox Series X. And that's the first point I want to get across to all of my audience. If there was ever a prime example and the epitome of an irrelevant purchase of a product that simply should not exist, the Xbox Series X is it. People often tout, oh, it's just like it's a walled garden PC. That's not a good thing. My God. People buy PCs for the flexibility, the openness. You can mod the games. You can pirate the games. You can get the games cheap. You can do all sorts of stuff with games that you can't do on a console. When you get down to brass tacks, all the Xbox Series X is a console to be purchased by idiots who can't figure out how to work a computer. And it goes even a step further than that. Even if we look at console exclusives, even if we kick the PC to the curb, which, by the way, the PC video is coming. PC is the worst platform to play on, period. And if you're playing video games on a machine designed for Excel spreadsheets, you got something seriously fucking wrong upstairs. But anyway, back to the point. Let's just look at the consoles. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, 365 days in. PlayStation 5 has had at least half a dozen exclusives that have completely shattered sales records and made the console feel amazing. They have games that truly feel next gen. It's incredible. Slinging through New York at Christmas time as Miles Morales, trying yet another attempt at the boss in Returnal, or traveling through the rifts in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart are simply experiences that you cannot get anywhere else. I mean, with the exception that Miles Morales is playable on the PS4, and that Horizon Forbidden West is going to be playable on the PS4, and God of War Ragnarok is going to be playable on the PS4. But never mind all that. Never mind all that. These are definitive next-generation experiences. What does Microsoft have? We have 365 days of nothing. We have false promises. We have delays. We have a redesign of Craig that makes him look even worse than the original, because this poser-ass metalhead Craig looks like a fucking joke. Microsoft has put out exactly one exclusive in the last year. One exclusive in the last 365 days. Microsoft Flight Simulator that has come out to review scores in the 90s. I mean, that's it. That's it! I mean, you're buying a game console to play games, and Microsoft is not delivering on the games front. Furthermore, Microsoft has been incredibly lazy in their approach to this system. The system is literally a rectangle. It's the least inspiring design of any game console. They didn't reinvent the controller. By the way, DualSense is the most next-gen feature about the PS5. Bet you weren't expecting to hear that. Talk about immersion. Talk about earth-shattering levels of immersion. There's nothing quite like feeling the resistance of the trigger as you squeeze and you're shooting a gun in the game, or when you're driving a car and you go around a tight bend and you squeeze the left trigger to hit the brakes. It's flawless. It is next generation. It is time to embrace the DualSense, but the Xbox clowns won't admit as such. Microsoft were also literally so uninspired. They had such little faith in the Xbox Series X that instead of designing even a goddamn new UI, a new user interface, they couldn't be half-assed. They just copied and pasted the old one over. And to shove salt into the wound, to throw dirt into the eyes of the Xbox Series X owners, then they pump out Windows 11, which is quote-unquote for gamers, that has a fantastic new design. Microsoft are lazy. They don't believe in their own product, and Phil Spencer came out and said that he does not give a flying fuck if you buy an Xbox Series X, and that's a damn shame, too. Xbox could have had a really bright future. They could have locked games exclusive to the platform to drive system sales. With all the money that they got behind their fucking company, they could invest in VR as a future. That's another thing. PlayStation and even Nintendo at this point are looking forward to the future of gaming in the form of VR. Microsoft says they don't care. They're not interested. DualSense features, improving the controller and feedback and 3D audio. Microsoft doesn't care. They don't give two shits. Their whole game is power. Their whole game is look at the most powerful system that we have, yet there are no true exclusives to embrace it. And the third-party games that get like what? 2 more FPS and 4 more pixels on the system are simply not enough to justify a system that launched at the same cost as their primary competitor. If the Xbox Series X was $200, which I think is still too expensive, but I digress, then maybe you have a compelling argument. You're sacrificing $300 for some power to run third-party games better. But at $500, the Xbox Series X is quite simply the biggest waste of money you can make in 2021. And make no mistake, this is a year that Apple is launching a monitor stand for $1,000. That is a better purchase than the Xbox Series X. This system is the worst console of all time because it's not even truly a console. They copied and pasted the controller and UI designs from the previous generation. They updated the design from being a horizontal flat box to a vertical standing rectangle that resembles a fucking mini fridge. And above all else, there are no true exclusives. Video game consoles live and die by their libraries, and when I can play literally everything on my Series X better on my PC, well, Microsoft, you've got a big fucking problem. Phil Spencer, you say you don't care if we don't buy Xbox Series X's. I think that you do care, and I think that it's very clear that you care about one thing: the collapse of Microsoft. Folks, I just sold my Xbox Series X on eBay. I'm shipping it to a very wealthy family out in Oregon. They paid me $750 after shipping. That's more than I paid for the system. So I've profited off of Microsoft's stupidity to launch a console during one of the craziest times in recent history, and I highly suggest you do the same. While you can still fetch a good scalper price, hit up your Facebook Marketplace, hit up your Mercari, hit up your eBay, do whatever you got to do to get this ridiculous box out of your house, because it's not worth having around. Quite frankly, this box and Microsoft are ruining the gaming industry. The PlayStation 5 is a significantly better system all around, and there is no reason to ever invest in a Microsoft product again. Long live Sony. Long live Jim Ryan. Long live generations, and long live innovation, something Microsoft simply knows nothing about.